June takes a breath, preparing. It's a new spot, but the setting looks good. Finally ready, she darts out into the streaming traffic, cars parting like schooling fish, drivers honking. She dances between the bright headlights, waving, calling out for help. The freeway overpasses loom like monsters, jeweled office towers rising in the distance. At first there are no takers. Two cars narrowly miss one another, one of them clipping a high curb. She ups the ante, windmilling her arms, screaming at the top of her lungs. "Help! Someone please help!" Still they stream past. A new model Tesla finally forces its way across several lanes, slowing to the curb ahead. God, sometimes she practically has to get herself killed. The car's windows lower as she makes her way to them. "Man, am I glad you guys stopped," June shouts above the traffic. She sizes up the couple fast, settling on the man. It's more dangerous on the traffic side, but the men are always easier. She dodges over to them across several more lanes, almost getting hit again in the process. She squats alongside the car, hands on her knees, catching her breath. When she stands again, their eyes are open to her, ready. She's maybe halfway home. The man alone would be a dunk shot, but the girl may still be a problem. She can see it in the eyes. But there's definitely money here, the car and little Miss Prissy beside him. From his tousled graying hair and the pressed T-shirt, she figures, computers. June stays with the usual, slow and easy, try to seem like one of them. "I was really getting scared," she chokes up, "thought nobody would ever stop." She stares in at the girl's soft white sweater, the heart-shaped pendant at the neck, gold and ruby, and maybe even a diamond. If she could just get to it, the chain would go like thread. But it could be trouble. Peño has warned her, never reach inside. You lose control that way, maybe even an arm. "My car broke down on the freeway, and my phone's dead," she recites, looking the man purposefully in the eye. "I've been trying to arrange a tow truck, but these homies keep cruising by, calling me names. I'm really scared." June feels the girl focus in on her. Women can be the worst. They see down into you. She already has the guy, she can tell, but the other is still trouble. She continues on, giving the girl just enough eye. "I need $29.50 for when the tow truck gets here," she tells them. "My purse is back up in the car, but I don't have enough." She's tried different amounts, but this one's always been the clincher. The 50 cents makes it seem real, and it's close enough to $30 that she usually gets a 20 and a 10. She gives it time to sink in, to let them talk. But then they start whispering to one another, and for too long. The girl finally leans over to her side. The eyes are newly hard. "Look, we'd really like to help you," she says, "but I've been scammed like this before." She was so close, fucking little bitch. "I swear to you this is no scam," June says, forcing up tears. She's losing it, even the man. "Look, I work at Chevy's over by the airport." A jolt is what that little bitch needs, maybe even one to the face, leave something to remember her by. But Peño's told her that people have died that way, too close to the brain. She isn't a murderer. "I'll be there tomorrow on the afternoon shift," she continues. "If you come by, I'll pay you then, even give you guys a free dinner." It's working. The eyes are softening. She moves in closer to the man to cinch it, hoping he'll smell her perfume. June pulls out a scrap of paper, begins writing down a random number. The man twists up to one side, reaching into his back pocket, pulling out a fresh 20 and a 10. She holds his gaze and even adds a touch of sex to it, hoping Miss Prissy doesn't see. Who knows? This one could be a repeat donor. Maybe get his number somehow. "Thanks a lot," she says, focusing now on the girl. "You've really saved my ass." "Don't mention it," the man says, making clear it's his money. But June hands the scribbled number to the girl. She and Miss Prissy are practically sisters now. She takes the bills, careful not to seem too anxious. She's about to give them her final line and be gone, but then the man says, "Hey, by the way, can I get your driver's license? Maybe write down some info?" Shit, how could she have never thought of this? They stare back, waiting for an answer. Her hand begins to tremble. I can't," she says finally, but clearly improvising. She tries to recover the momentum, but has already waited too long. I told you, my purse is up in the car, she blurts out, looking up at the overpass. Fear is rising in their eyes. They know. I can't get to it until the tow truck comes, she continues, even more unconvincingly. June waits to see what will happen. She's sure the man isn't packing. Too soft at the center. The girl might be, though. Looks can be deceiving with women. She edges her hand slowly toward her back pocket. If worse comes to worse, she'll give the guy one to the neck and run for it, hope he survives. The fear is building in their faces. Okay, well, never mind, the man says nervously. June watches his eyes go down to her hand, there at the pocket. As the man puts away his wallet, she hears the muffled latch of the car doors. She sees him eyeing the path ahead, planning a potential high-speed escape. Good luck, the man says finally. In her confusion, she makes contact with Miss Prissy, the glare now icy and betrayed. The car's windows rise back up, reflecting June's twisted image and the glittering office towers beyond. They pull away under the crackling orange streetlights. They'd been all wrong from the beginning, too old and too much to lose. Peño has warned her to stick with the younger ones, and that way, if you end up buzzing them, their hearts won't give out. But some nights, you took what you got. If she'd ended up with just the man, she'd be set now, a damsel in distress, with still decent looks and good tits. That was all it took for most guys. And when it really worked, you got them up on the freeway and under the hood of the car, then gave them the juice, a little high-voltage cash withdrawal. And by the time they came to, you were long gone. June feels the cold rising up into her now, like a gathering storm from some secret place. She's already spent too much time and is too drained to do another. $30 for the night. It wasn't much, but enough for a little something. She shivers, already imagining the warming fire in her veins. If she's lucky and it's decent stuff, it will still be an okay night. She tucks the bills down her top and heads to the phones next to Mighty Mart. Peño won't take cell calls. Too many footprints. Afterward, she waits, listening to the cars roar by above, imagining it's the ocean. The city lights shimmer like jewels in the day's still rising heat. A black and white edges by in the lanes ahead, but she spots it in time and ducks into the shadows. Maybe courtesy of Miss Prissy. Peño can usually get to her in a half an hour and will give her a ride back to the car. After that, she'll have the whole night ahead. Her body already knows what's in store. Like a golden light, it will shine down into her, melting away all the cold and all the hardness. She's safe now for a while. For tonight, the dance is done.